all the rage. Anthony decides to take center stage. Undercover in Kyria's Joel he goes. Even got himself a prosthetic.
Oy vey! Shut it down, Rob!
Okay.
If you want to watch the anti-Semitic intro, you're going to have to pay up and join locals.
My favorite comment on that was somehow Taffy wanted Anthony but ended up getting Kennedy.
Dude, what's crazy is the guy at the end looks like my Uncle Anthony, like a lot. He looks
Really?
like really like my Uncle Anthony. Okay, so I have to explain a little bit. Like okay, so here's the thing. Like, I don't care what the intro is if it's just me and Rob, right? Like, I don't care. But when you have a guest on who's like a professor at a university, I was just like, dude, I don't know if that's a good idea. And so
If Fred hadn't already canceled him, he would have canceled him for that.
well, Daniel had messaged me and he went, hey, I have some interviews coming up and they're going to basically like look over my social media history. So I just want to give you a heads up. I'm not going to put your show in the bio because I don't want anybody coming across that.
No, he said, I'm gonna delete the tweet I was tagged in. That's what he said.
Yeah. And I just went, oh my gosh, that's so bad. Like because I wasn't even thinking about who he's going to have on. I was more thinking like, what if one of his students saw it and like decided to make a problem for him? I think it's safe to say that an intro is never a good idea with those of your guests. So yeah, so
we have decided that, yes.
So this is kind of this guy. We have to have a talk with Taffy because like, all right, so we're gonna have to have like if we have a guest on. There's two things we have to do. We could like when we had Taylor on, we actually ran Taffy's intro by Taylor before he came on.
He loved that.
And Taylor was like, oh, this is awesome. Play it, you know? So if Taffy has something that he thinks would be good for the guest, I just got to run it by them beforehand and make sure they're okay with it. Because I mean, I don't care. I can't get canceled from anything. But Robin blackface might not be the greatest thing for his Baptist bosses either, you know? Like that's probably a little.
I'll be honest, and I mentioned it that night. I did not watch the whole thing prior to airing it. That's my bad.
So that's kind of where we're at. It's like, all right, if we have a guest, we're going to either run the intro by them and make sure they're cool with it first, or we'll just do like a generic intro and there's a guest. There's a bunch of things coming up also. So I'm basically going to be laid off all week next week. We're getting. I think most of America is getting clobbered with this storm, right? Like, I mean, it's pretty much the whole.
We're not going to get any storm. It's just going to be like cold. -40 real temp when I wake up tomorrow and -60 wind chill.
So, like, the whole eastern seaboard is getting either a foot of snow or ice or something. It's the anti-Zionism that'll get Rob fired.
He's not wrong.
So Bobby's getting like 20 inches. I'm getting like 10 to 16 inches. It's going to be brutal. So, and then it's going to drop down into like 18 degrees or 16 degrees. So that snow's not going anywhere. So I'm going to be off all week next week.
You're complaining about 16 degrees. Are you joking me?
I'm not complaining about it. It's just we're going to get shut down at work. So yeah. I reached out to Joel Webbin. And I wanted to get him on.
Talk about someone fine with the blackface.
We're gonna. I hope Taffy makes an intro for Joel Webbin. We'll see. We'll see if he comes up with something good. I'll send it to Joel ahead of time. But I reached out to Joel a couple months back, and he didn't respond to me. So I shot him a message last night, and I said, "Hey, I know you blew me off on the last message I sent you, but I know you just lost Patreon and you got a new book. I said, if you want to plug your book and plug your new platform, I said, you know, we'd love to have you." And he messaged me back like right away. And he was like, yeah, definitely. I would love to. So I don't know what he's come across of ours. I don't know if, I have no idea what he's seen of ours. I don't know what he knows, but he sent me his phone number and I had like a quick, like 5-10 minute conversation with him today. And he said, look, I'd prefer it if we didn't do it in the evening because he kind of does his thing during the day and then he wants to spend time. He's got 5 kids. He wants to be home with his family. So I said, I'll be off next week. If you want to do Tuesday, I can do Tuesday. So we're going to do Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Rob obviously has work, so he's not going to be able to join. But hopefully that interview is good enough to give us content for the night show. And we could jump on and do like a
We're still doing a night show?
I think we should. I mean, I'm
fine
going to
with
be
that.
off. So it's like, and you're, so I figured I'll do the day show Tuesday and then we'll do the night show. Maybe we'll do a debrief of the Joel Webbin guy. Because I have a lot of things I want to ask Joel. Like, I want to ask him like how, because I've watched him change his opinion over the past year and a half specifically, and just watching his content change. And I'd like to get into a lot of that stuff. And we're probably going to discuss like the 3 contenders, which is, thank you. Appreciate you. We're probably going to discuss race, feminism, and Jews, and like, it's hard to get along. I'm not into like Protestant Catholic dialogue typically, but I think Joel's really good on those 3 issues. Like, he's basically a Christian patriarchy guy on feminism. He's got some interesting takes on race. He's a Christian nationalist guy, and he wants to preserve a white country, and he's coming around on the Jewish question a lot. And I'd like to see how far I can push him on Catholic theology with the Jewish question. So I think it'll be a really interesting conversation. So we're going to do that Tuesday, and then Rob and I will jump on Tuesday night. Then Wednesday, I think I'm on with TLM Ryan, and then I'm probably going to stream like every day next week because I'm off. So you guys are gonna have a lot of
what Ant doesn't realize is that does not cause just more work for Ant.
No, it doesn't. It's definitely making Rob do more. But I'd rather be streaming than doing nothing. Like, I don't know. I'm afraid to just be home doing nothing. So tonight we're going to do like we're going to discuss the topic in the thumbnail. We're probably just going to make fun of Novus Ordo Normie Patrick a little bit.
Life Team Patrick.
Life Team Patrick. We're going to make fun of him a little bit. And then I still never told anybody about my weekend in Tampa. Like, I have Father Altman stories.
Get to that.
I met John Yep from Catholics for Catholics.
We have to discuss Michael Matt purposefully trying to burn the remnants.
We definitely have to discuss Michael Matt basically became Tim Waltz. I mean,
basically, yeah.
Michael Matt became Tim Waltz. Like, the things he's saying sound no different.
They're indistinguishable.
Like, indistinguishable from Ozzy Osbourne's daughter on The View, when she's like, "We can't get rid of the immigrants; they clean our toilets." Like, that's literally the tweet he wrote earlier.
Who's gonna mow my lawn out in the suburbs when I don't actually live in Minneapolis?
Who's gonna cut my grass if we just send all the immigrants? So we have to talk about Michael Matt. Like, I think we just have way more locals content tonight, stuff that I don't want to just blast out on YouTube. And so we'll get to the subject at hand in a minute. But first, we actually have a commercial to play for you guys.
And it is one you've actually seen, but we're actually being paid to play it this time.
All right, so this is the other thing. We're going to have to talk about the sponsor stuff because you guys, all right, we're going to bring you guys behind the scenes a little bit. But go ahead, play the commercial, and then we'll talk about it real quick.
That was a lot of work. Next time we're buying Fat Thins.
You guys don't want to know what I did to that cow. All right, so
that's still the best part.
All right, so here's the thing. We now have like, we went from having no sponsors to this show to several people want to sponsor.
Why are you turning that off? Oh, no, it did by itself. It
It
wasn't your fault. My bad. Sorry.
So we went from having no sponsors to having several people want to sponsor the show now. We don't want to do 3-4 ads in a show. So we have to shuffle some of these around. So we're thinking
we're supposed to notice that.
Yeah, I said that. I said I'm grateful Taffy always makes me look a little thinner. It's pretty nice. We're going to probably do Recusant until Valentine's Day. And I'm assuming people don't drink wine during Lent because you should be giving up alcohol for Lent. Come on, guys. So we'll maybe take a break from ReccuSync
Those of
during
you that
Lent.
have problems with it, anyways.
So yeah, we're gonna see if we'll talk to ReccuSync. We'll see if we can drop ReccuSync for a period. Fat Thins is only doing like a 3-show run. We want to keep Knickknacks, and what's the other one we have now?
There's a special Lenten one probably coming.
So yeah, there's a Lenten specific one that's coming also. So we'll try not to like bury you. I mean, this is part of the show tonight, and you guys, we're gonna do it, but we'll try to keep the ads a little shorter. So all right, so Fat Thins is a Catholic family that is now making chips. We mentioned their chips on our show one time, and they sold out.
They just launched recently. They sold out their first batch, and they just finished their second batch. So go over to fatthins.com and AB10 for the code will give you 10% off your first order.
And they are actually amazing chips.
They're
like,
the best chips I've ever had.
They are amazing chips. They are made with beef tallow,
potatoes, beef tallow, and sea salt. Literally those 3 ingredients.
So, and they're amazing. So go check them out. Let's see if we can clean out this order for them so that they are happy that they sponsored us. Then we are still doing ReccuSync right now. So ReccuSyncsellers.com, use code BASED at checkout for 10% off. ReccuSync Sellers are our original sponsor. We always love ReccuSync. Valentine's Day is coming up, and it does take a little over a week to get your wine delivered. I'm telling you guys, get an order in now. Have a nice couple bottles of wine to surprise your wife with, your mother. They're a really good gift for Valentine's Day. Great way to support the show. Use code BASED at checkout for 10% off. See what else they got on their site. They also ship fruit. And yes, the grift did evolve quickly. We apologize. And then the last one is Knickknack.
The thing is, like, I've talked to all these guys, and these aren't like just their marketing team. Like, I've talked to all of their owners, and all their owners are just Catholic guys. Honestly, all similar in age to me and Aunt, just running a family business. Like, so when they ask us to help them out, and of course in exchange for money, they are paying us. But it's hard to say no to a Catholic family who just wants to help their business,
Dude, and they like the show, and like I'm not kidding. Have you seen any other Catholic shows having unique sponsorships like this? Like every other show does the same thing. Like they all get real estate for life. It's what other ones do they do?
You want to know? Someone just commented on our last show where you said that. Said, hey, I work with Real Estate for Life. I mentioned it to our manager since you've talked about us 3 times now. So we might have Real Estate for Life as a sponsor.
I mean, they may as well give us an affiliate code, right? If somebody uses Real Estate for Life, because we should get a cut. But I mean, everybody knows Real Estate for Life, right? So, but it is funny just because of how the show has progressed. Like our first actual sponsor was a guy who was doing wills. It was like Catholic wills.
MyCatholicWill.com.
Yeah, MyCatholicWill.com. He was the first sponsor, but like our audience is so young. It's like nobody's thinking about wills yet. So it just wasn't a good fit. So we were kind of just like, look, it kind of got a little too
Anthony couldn't figure out how to use the Will website to do his own, so
but it just got too like cumbersome to do. Trad LLC magazine. It got like too cumbersome to like throw the ad into the show. It was a little clunky and stuff. So we do actually really like the guy who does My Catholic Wills. So if you guys need a will, definitely go over there. Like we do really like the guy. It was just not a good fit for our show because our audience is young and stuff.
Oh, we probably have to explain wills to boomers since they will never use them to give money to their kids.
They're gonna spend all that money before they die.
So Michael Matt, here's what a will is, buddy.
And then Knickknack. Knickknack's our newest sponsor, and they are the highest paying sponsor. So we should treat them the best.
Yeah, there's some behind the scenes stuff you don't say.
Knickknack.com. Shop, use code AB25 for 25% off. We actually love Knickknacks. They are very, very helpful for me right now. I'm not allowed to say why, because we're definitely not allowed to say they're a smoking cessation device. Not allowed to say that.
And we are required to say that this product contains nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive and yet wonderful chemical.
addictive, wonderful, amazing. And we would love to like put Alps and freaking Zyn out of business. Like for a Catholic company to get into the nicotine game, that's awesome. So go support knickknack.com. Check them out. They're lozenges, guys. They're not pouches. So you don't leave pouches all over your house. Like they're just lozenges. You put them in your lip and they dissolve. They have a ton of different flavors.
Like if you're outside and you want to be done, you can just spit it outside. It's going to dissolve. It's not.
Yeah. It's not littering, but I'm on blood orange right now. It's really good.
Yeah.
Blood orange is really good. So knickknack.com, use code AB 25% for 25%.
Have you found you don't need as strong of a dose with them?
I still use it. Yeah, you could break one in half. You definitely don't need it, but I still do the whole. What am I, a lightweight? All right, so let's get to the show. So that was 15 minutes of ads.
We're definitely not going to get any complaints about that from either our sponsors or our listeners.
Every time we do a show, the comments are like 10 minutes in and still no
start tab, blah blah blah. And someone goes, "You're such a lifesaver."
10 minutes in and still no content. It's like, I don't know what you guys are looking for from us. Like,
if you want content, we're not the show.
This is just not the show for you, if that's what you're looking for. We don't get to the title ever, usually. So we're 16 minutes in. I think we should try to get to the title. All right. So Patrick Nave or Nev.
Actually, Nave.
I like Patrick. I think he's very good at Twitter. Like very good at Twitter.
That's because he's gamified it.
He's pretty good at Twitter. I mean, he knows he does a lot of threads sometimes and stuff. He's just super normie, you know what I mean? Like he's thank you, Molly. He's like what did Layla Miller say? Lawler? Is that Layla Lawler? Is that her name? What's her name?
Yeah, I think you're right. I just can't remember if that's a different person than Layla Miller.
Layla Lawler? I think it's. Wait, I'm gonna actually see her.
I'll be honest. This is gonna come off wrong. A lot of the women on Twitter all seem like exactly the same to me.
It's Layla Marie Lawler. So Layla said, I like Layla too. She's a nice lady. I'm not gonna say anything negative about her. She follows me on Twitter. So let's see. I want to find her tweet.
That's all it takes, by the way, guys.
Yeah, just
follow
be nice
him on
me.
Twitter.
Follow me on Twitter, and I'm not gonna say anything. Where's her actual tweet though? She said something about him. I can't find it. This is terrible.
This is going so great. And pop in a knickknack and zone in.
I'm trying, guys. All right, whatever. All right, I can't find it. Anyway, she said that so he's basically like a life teen minister, Patrick.
He's a youth minister somehow associated in some way with Life Teen.
So it's like he's super normie. And so this is the tweet he wrote.
Okay, Life Teen is way more than just normie. Like
it's like charismatic.
Two of the three founders of Life Team have been charged with child sex crimes. So in a way where like you really question the prudence of those who stayed with the Legionnaires. I tend to really question like the judgment and prudence of those who are associated with Life Teen at this point in time.
I didn't know that. So, all right. So Patrick writes, every Catholic knows someone who drives 30 minutes to mass, passing 3 parishes along the way. Maybe you're that person, but church hopping is killing our parishes. I get the appeal. The music, homilies, or community are better somewhere else. But when faithful Catholics scatter across a diocese chasing the perfect parish, nobody builds anything. It causes a dilution of resources. People aren't working together because they don't see each other. The parish you hate might just be the parish that needs you. So now, my response to this was, Patrick's kind of genius because he wrote a book on this. And I said he's kind of genius at Twitter because he wrote a tweet that will generate more revenue than the book itself. Because
isn't that the truth?
Who's buying this book?
Life
Who's
Team?
buying this? Oh, maybe. Unless
that's the thing. That's the thing about like the institutional church and Catholic Inc. Like it's all.
They'll sell this at your parish.
They'll
sell this in like the narthex of your parish or something
for $2 or $3, or it'll be on the free rack, right? So you are buying this book whether you realize it or not. Your tithes will go to your parish and your diocese to buy this book from, you know, these organizations, from these authors who write just vacuous bullshit.
There has been some crazy anger from this tweet though. Like even when Brian Holdsworth chirps in and like in like a hostile way, you
Yeah,
said something crazy.
Yeah, like it wasn't cheerful Brian either that was in
No,
that tweet.
Brian's like, I would rather let those parishes die than the faith of my children die. Like that's really how a lot of us feel, right? It's like you want me to go in and try and save this terrible parish. What? It's not even possible, man. You're just like the idea of swimming upstream like that. Like you're going into a situation that will take years and tons of people helping you to do it. And a ton of pressure on the like these things
All
things
for the
have
next
been
priest to undo it all in 1 week.
in 1 week. These motions have been set since the council. Like you're not undo, and for what? You'll spend years there to get what? Them to say the Kyrie
While your child
Right,
goes
like-
in transitions because he or she didn't learn a damn thing at church.
like you'll spend years and years and then maybe you'll get some incense. Like it's not like you're going and revamping the liturgy at this place. Like there's nothing you're going to do. So I don't understand. Like you might get like a youth program there, but like what young people are going to places like this? It's total pride to think you're the guy who fixes your parish. That's a very good point.
It is.
Like this is, I mean, I said this to EMJ when he came on, like because EMJ's issue with the TLM is that it's bifurcating the church. And I'm like, Mike, I actually got my best Novus Ordo talking point from you, which is that the Novus Ordo itself inherently like has so much variety in it that you're already not going to your geographical parish no matter what. You're already church hopping. So it's like if I'm church hopping already and I'm driving 15 minutes to a reverent Novus Ordo that's not even really reverent, I may as well go the extra 25, 30 minutes and go to a Latin mass, which I know I don't have to fight with anybody to get reverence. It's just inherent in the liturgy. And then all of a sudden you meet a bunch of people who take their faith seriously and you get this concentrated group who cares a lot about their faith, and you could go let your children play with their children because you know they're not going to be little heathens that are just there because it's culturally Catholicism. The issue that does come into play is that because everybody's driving 45 minutes to an hour, it's hard to make
it because it is just a Sunday thing generally, unfortunately.
Yes. So it's not your neighbor that you're hanging out with there. So like there really was a beauty to the Catholic parish system before the council, where the parish was the community center for Catholics. And it goes into all the social engineering that happened with them bringing. So like Tucker Carlson just did that show today or yesterday, talking about how New York in 1950 was 90% white. Now it's 30% white. Chicago was 85% white. Now it's 17% white. LA was 94% white. Now it's 37% white. This influx of immigrants into these cities was social engineering to break up Catholic communities and send them out to the suburbs. And then they just completely disjointed all these Catholic communities.
Yeah. I mean, you literally have the Great Migration of blacks from the South to the urban and the urban North and the urban, west. And, all, for instance, North Minneapolis, where close by where the FSSP parish is in Minneapolis, within a mile, right? In any direction you have, like you said, a German parish, and a Polish parish, Slovenian parish, an Italian parish or two, and now they're all closed. And instead, you have North Minneapolis with the worst gun crime in the entire state.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that was like real social engineering. It was like what they did by moving immigrants in. So somebody's saying like, where are they?
I do not know what that denomination is, but thank you.
I'm a
Even if
21
it's
year old.
like the Argentinian donation we had the one time that ended up being
Yeah, that could be like
50
14
cents.
cents. Yeah, that could be 50 cents or something. So I'm a 21-year-old Catholic man in a parish that hates me for being properly Catholic. My priest accused me of idolatry for wanting Latin. I refuse to raise my kids in this nonsense. Like, that's kind of how all of us feel,
South
right?
African. If you're from South Africa, respect. That's not a nice place to live most of the time.
So my wife, I forgot when it was. Where was I? I wasn't with her. Oh, it was probably this past Sunday when I was down in Florida. This past Sunday, I was down in Florida. My wife took the kids to the Novus Ordo by me. And she goes and she's like, Anthony, she's like, the priest is such a nice priest. Like, he really is a good priest. This parish has some of the most orthodox homilies you'll ever hear, but some of the worst liturgy you'll ever attend.
Yeah.
So it's like a super conservative
Mhm.
like, in your actual homilies, and they'll talk about abortion. I've even heard homilies on birth control. I've heard homilies on pornography, like really based homilies, but the liturgy is atrocious. I'm talking altar girls and horrific music. They sing the Our Father in a way that will make your ears bleed. So the priest gave a homily about vocations, and he was like almost in tears because there's only 5 American priests in seminary in our diocese this year, and we have like
joking me.
We have like the 3rd or 4th largest diocese in the country. Rockville
I think
Center.
we have.
Look that up. Rockville Center. It's like, it is a huge diocese. Rockville Center. It's no joke. I mean, it's in New York. It's like one of like it's in the top 5. I'm pretty sure.
Let me look.
So there's only 5 American priests, American men joining seminary, or like are going to be ordained or something like that. And the priest was almost in tears. And he was just like, Catholic families are raising their children Catholic, but none of the parents are trying to inspire their children towards a vocation. Maybe the 6th, something like that, right?
It's pulling up now. So you have 1.5 million Catholics in your baptized Catholics in your diocese.
Yeah. Big diocese.
And you have 5 seminarians.
5 seminarians out of 1.5
in my
million.
diocese, we have 50,000 Catholics and 11 seminarians.
There you go.
Wow.
Okay, so I mean, think about that, man. So he was like really upset in this homily, and he's like, "Hey, can you guys pray for the repose of Father Nick Fratus of the Diocese of Erie? He barely turned 47 and died a few days ago." Also, John Allen. John Allen passed.
Who was John Allen?
John Allen was we did his wife did the interview with Pope Francis, the first interview with Pope Francis.
Wait, Francis or Leo?
I mean Leo, I'm sorry, Pope Leo.
Okay.
His wife did the first interview with Pope Leo, and we kind of reviewed that interview. That was John Allen's wife. So the priest is like almost in tears because Catholic families are not trying to inspire vocations in their children, and he's like, it's kind of like this lost occupation because people don't think anything of the priesthood. And it's like, I was so frustrated listening to this, because how many vocations have they destroyed
because of girl altar boys?
Well, because of Traditionis Custodes,
Yeah.
right? Because of how they're cracking down on anybody who actually believes the faith, right?
Mhm.
So any men that are going to feel a sense of a vocation are going to be more conservative and traditional. And then you're basically telling these guys, hey, we're ripping altar rails out. Like what man is going to go and enter a seminary under those conditions? And we've talked about this before. If my son felt he had a vocation, it's like, I mean, I guess I got to send him to SSPX seminary. Like, there's no chance I'm putting my son in a diocesan seminary.
It would.
No chance.
One could argue that it could potentially be a sin against prudence, to be quite honest.
It's because I know Wagner disagrees with me on this. He's like, oh no, we got to infiltrate, and like we'll be the ones who are coming up. But I'm not of that mindset. Like you're not receiving a real Catholic formation in those seminaries, and they still have their guys at the top. So basically, Leo's in, and I don't care how based your priests are in the seminary. What you actually have happening is Leo's promoting a guy who supports the LGBT and who's like, that's who he's promoting. These guys are in power. That's what you're getting raised to the top. So no matter how based your average priest is, because I know a ton. Not all right. So look, I had a priest who lives in Westchester called me yesterday, and I talked to him a little bit, and it's because he saw my video about the Bishop Hicks, the New York bishop.
Yeah.
So I put, for anybody that doesn't know, I put out a video when Hicks replaced Dolan, and it was pretty vicious. And in the video I kind of said, like, I know Dolan was. I know he wasn't the best, and I could criticize him for a million things, but at least he felt like a man's man, and you could go grab a beer with him. This priest was like,
I always thought Dolan felt gay, to be honest.
So this is the guy says to me, he's like, I'm just telling you, Dolan was part of the gay mafia, dude. He's like, I don't care what you think of Dolan. He was part of the gay mafia. I never
once got the feeling he was a man's man.
I always felt he's just an Irishman, a jolly Irishman. I was like, I could probably grab a beer and talk with the guy or something, but he did say, he goes, no, and he goes, I'm glad you deleted the video just because Hicks, he goes, I know he may not have the most masculine voice and stuff like that. He goes, but I know guys that were in his diocese, and I'm telling you, he's not an enemy of.
This is really
he's not an enemy by any stretch.
You don't like Hicks because he's soft spoken, and you like Dolan because he was loud.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I like a loud Irishman, a loud Italian. It's kind of how it is. But what I also realized, like this priest who called me, I'm going to grab dinner with him in the next week or two, and. Like I think
Anthony admitting he'd get gay catfish.
Yeah, I probably totally would. What isn't talked about enough is how lonely the life of a conservative priest is. Like the priest that's coming to Italy, I really should mention Italy too. We have 10 spots left on the Italy trip. So if anybody is interested in coming, like this trip is going to be amazing. I have an amazing priest coming on this trip with us. We're going to have daily Latin mass in some of the most beautiful places. We're going to Rome, going down to Pompeii. We're going to go to the island of Capri. We're going to have a Latin mass in front of a Eucharistic miracle while we're there. We're going to Assisi. We're going to be in Orvieto. There's also a plenary indulgence attached to visiting Assisi this year. So you'll get a plenary indulgence with the pilgrimage, daily mass. It's pretty amazing. So if you guys are interested, go to anthony@avoidingbabylon.com. You're right.
He means email that. Don't
yeah,
that.
Email anthony@avoidingbabylon.com. But the priest that called me, I'm just like, man, these good priests, they have nobody, man. Like they don't have anybody. Like and people talk to priests like they're like, oh my goodness, like I have to be careful how and I think just this priest calling me, I don't want to say his name because of what I just said that he told me and stuff, but he's like, man, I'd love to just come and hang with you and just talk with you, And the same thing with the priests coming on the pilgrimage. Like they need just like fraternity with men, like and normal men, you know what I mean? Like it's like because so many of the people at their parishes probably like are like, especially when you know a priest, right? Like, so all right, I'll give you an example. When I went to the canceled priest conference, I had a thing I was dealing with that was like really tricky, and Father Dave Nix was there, and I remember I could have gone to a priest that I didn't know and talked about this and confessed this. And I forced myself to go to Father Nix because it was embarrassing. It was something super embarrassing. And I was like, I'm going to force myself to go to Father Dave Nix because I didn't want to hide behind the screen for this one. I wanted to like, I wanted to verbalize what this thing was. And I wanted to really like sit in it for a minute. And it was super embarrassing, and but it put up this, like, I felt weird around Father Nix the rest of that weekend, even though like, the priest after he forgives your sins, like he he forgets about it. But when you're in a priest's parish and you're going to, and he's your confessor and stuff, it's like it's hard to have a lateral fraternal relationship with him instead of that, hey, you're my spiritual father relationship, which is appropriate, right? Like he is your spiritual father. But I do think these priests just need to be around normal men and just like hang out. was super embarrassing. More details on locals. It was one of those it was something that like came up from like during the conference in one of the talks. Like it was like
was it about how angry you got at Father Altman?
No. No. It was a past sin that came up, and it was very personal. It was, I mean, I'll tell you guys on locals, whatever. I don't care.
No, don't fall into the stereotype.
Whatever, I'll tell it on locals. No, it's not something I could ever say on here though, because it has to do with. Never mind. Oh, whatever. Anyway,
shut up.
Yeah, I always talk too much. So,
it's okay, Anthony. Everyone contemplates insurance.
It's fluid though. I like Matthew, man. He's like there's a couple of really cool settings out there, man. He's definitely
he's a setting. I shouldn't.
Yeah, but he's awesome. Do not dare block him. He's awesome. I really
I can't block the Twitter people anyway.
No. Don't you dare anyway. I really like him. But yeah, like it is. I am looking forward to just getting to spend time with both of these priests, because I think like they need to just have like a guy to hang out and talk with, and maybe even them get to like say some of the hardships they're under that they can't say to their parish members. You know what I mean? Like they just need a friend, and they don't have other, like they're not living in community like they used to. Like the priest that's coming to Italy, dude, the guy runs 3 parishes. Like he's running 3 parishes. He's the lead pastor at 3 parishes. Do you know what kind of life he lives? He's like bouncing from one to the other to the other. So daily mass, this mass. He's saying 3 masses at 3 different parishes on a Sunday. That is way too much for one priest to handle. And it goes to the priest at the Novus Ordo parish this weekend, talking about how there's only 5 American seminarians coming in. So now,
did he mention how many H-1B seminarians were coming in though?
Yeah, he did. He said, thank God for these Indian priests that are coming in. And I said, like, he went through all this trouble to put the mass in the vernacular, and then they brought a bunch of priests over from other countries that you can't understand a word they're saying anyway.
But you can't, not only can you not understand, I mean, their formation is just awful.
You really don't know. I mean, look, there's some of them, like they are faithful. Do not get me wrong. I've gone to confession with a couple of Indian priests, and like, you know, they're super faithful. Like they've asked me questions, but like some of the penances that you get are just like, what did you just like, man, it's just a dumpster fire for these men. So that's what I'm saying. Like the idea of fixing your home parish, man, it's an uphill battle, and you'll be at it for years, and you might get a trinket thrown at you.
Well, and like, so to kind of go to this comment here. So yeah, this is about our diocese here in the Diocese of Duluth. Our bishop is having a good number of the parishes celebrate Ad Orientem. And like our local priest is good. We've had him over for dinner. He loves Bishop Schneider. He says Dominus Est by Schneider is one of his favorite books. He introduced a kneeler for people who wanted to start kneeling for communion. You know, and
God bless that bishop, even though, like, to even say, "Hey, let's
I guess I'll just not finish my story."
I'm sorry.
But,
I'm sorry. You're right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But
I do that a lot. I apologize.
But at the same time, like the Lenten retreat, instead of having a Lenten retreat about penance or sacrifice or things like that, it's some liberal Benedictine monk who's going to come and talk about welcoming the other.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Like,
look.
and it's, I know who organized it, and it's the same 30-year-old feminist woman who is in charge of faith formation for children in our parish. So it's like, no, sorry, I'm not going to be involved in that parish. It's just not going to happen.
How it might be a locals discussion. I'll leave that to you. What you're open to sharing. Because me and Rob have been talking about just both of our own struggles with this stuff, and
yeah, we can talk.
I don't know if
it's
it's
locals.
We'll do that on locals. Yeah, it's because we both just been sharing like both of our struggles with certain things, like just how difficult they have made it to be Catholic at this point, man. Like it really is difficult to raise your children Catholic, because it'll go to look, like a lot of us that are driving an hour plus to go to mass on Sunday, there's a toll that comes with that. And it's easy when your kids are little, because your kids just do what you say when they're little. But you do an hour and a half drive to mass and your kids are little in the car. But then when they get to mass, they're ready to rip their hair out because they've been sitting in a car for an hour and a half. And it's like, we make the joke, Novus Ordo babies cry, but these poor trad babies have been sitting in the car for an hour and a half. And then you get them to mass and it's really difficult.
Yeah. So then one of the two parents isn't even
present
to be present for the mass because they're dealing with that. And yeah,
I'll tell you one thing I have been seeing.
Yeah, that's the Latin mass we go to.
There's something I saw, and I didn't want to mention it when it happened because I know the people probably saw me at mass that day, and I didn't want to come in the next show and like talk about it. But a couple of weeks ago, I was at mass, and there's a husband and wife there, young couple. They're like in their mid to late 20s. They got 4 kids, and the wife has an infant attached to her, basically breastfeeding the baby. There's a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 5-year-old. And the wife's got the infant holding her, and the 2, 4, and 5-year-old are fighting. And the dad is just watching mass up ahead. And every once in a while, he'll look down and he'll just go, stop. And then he'll go like this. And the wife is holding the baby. And now she's trying to deal with the toddlers, and the dad is not doing anything. And I'm like sitting there, and I'm just like, man, what are you like? You're the father, man. Like, I was just so disappointed in the husband that he left. Like at one point, one of the toddlers fell and hit their face on the pew, and the wife takes the toddler outside. She's got an infant in her arms. She takes the toddler outside, and then the 2 other ones are fighting in the pew, and the dad is still just watching the liturgy up ahead. And it's like, this is at a trad parish, and this trad dad is so enamored with the liturgy that he doesn't even know that he's ruining mass for everybody around him. Like, everyone around him is just like, dude, can you, like, your kids are literally like fighting in the aisle. Like you because a lot of this is based dad. Not based dad. Absolutely not. No.
Lazy dad.
It's lazy dad, and it's dad letting his wife run the home, dad. And it's frustrating, not even because the kids are making noise. I can deal with the kids making noise. It's more just that dad could actually just look at those kids sternly, and if they had a proper fear of their father, they would button up. Or he needs to take them outside and have a talk with them or something. And it's like, it's more just like, I see a lot of these young men in mass with their kids and leaving their wife to do everything. And I'm just like, man, you men, like, we got a lot to say about women and my women, this, women, that. Man, you men. My kids, when they were little at mass, if they started acting up, I would just give them a look, and they knew, I better shut up or there's going to be a problem. So it's, like, the young men do kind of suck. And I didn't want to say that at the next show because I was just at that, but this is a couple weeks back. So, and then you have the other opposite extreme where the dad's holding the infant and the toddler, and he's trying to keep the infant quiet, and the wife's just sitting there doing nothing. It's like, you guys are a team when you're at mass. You both have to work together. You both have to help each other. And you do have to do everything you can to make mass peaceful for everyone around you. Obviously, kids are going to make noise. I'm not saying your kids can't make noise, but you do have to do whatever's in your ability to keep your children settled the best you can. I mean, you can't control children fully, obviously. But like, even when we came for Sebastian's christening, like, there were times you had to, take the kids out because you had to settle them down and stuff. But that's just what you do as a father. Like, you just, kids have been cooped up in the car all day, stuff like that. But yeah, the idea that you're driving these kids. Imagine Ann at mass, all amped up on knickknacks after an hour driving. This is happening in front of him. Well, the thing is, because I get very frustrated at a Novus Ordo because the music sucks and this is terrible and this is terrible. And then you go to a trad parish and you're just like, this dad, Like all I want to do is fix men. You don't understand. That's like all I want to do is just fix men. When I see men, I'm just like, I want to fix this kid. I want to take him outside and I want to fix him. Like I want to make men of these boys. It's frustrating at times. Yeah, that's a good point. I love midnight mass. Like all the kids are sleeping. But it goes to the conversation Rob and I have been talking about. Well, like just the toll that the drive takes, and what what happens later on when your kids are older is that they grow to hate that mass takes all day, right? So when the kids are little, they'll do what you say, but when they get older, it's like, oh, mass 5 hours out of our day. Like that's not supposed to be that way, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, all right, maybe go fix the parish next to you, but that's not going to happen. So like they just have made everything so difficult to be Catholic, man. It really just sucks. It's tough. We live in a very difficult time, kids. That's why you all tune into this show twice a week. Get your spiritual complaining nourishment. I don't know. It's rough. What do you think on the fixing your local parish?
I mean, I'm at the point where I think it's probably best for the church if most of those parishes honestly die.
Yeah.
Like that like there are some I would assist. I would let's just say I would commit euthanasia with some parishes. I really would.
Okay, so this is a good comment. So my wife isn't Catholic, so I go with my 2 toddler boys myself every week. They're usually pretty good, but some weeks are an adventure. That's my brother. My brother's in that situation. His wife sometimes will go with him, but for the most part, he's taking his boys to mass on Sunday. And they're really good now though. Like my brother's kids, I think they're maybe 6 and 4, and he does like Catholic trivia with them. He reads them all Bible stories. Like when I go and see them, he's like, go ahead and quiz them on anything, and like I'll ask them like to name.
And then Aunt goes, "Sorry, that's too much work. I don't do trivia.
I don't do trivia anymore." No, I'll ask them the apostles' names. They know all the apostles' names. They really know their stuff. I'm realizing I'm incredibly blessed by God that I have a TLM 15 minutes away from you. Are, yeah. Definitely are. I opened my talk at the conference over the weekend with my I don't trust cradle trads joke. I don't trust
How'd
cradle
that go
trads.
over?
And they laughed. They did that. You gotta laugh. I don't trust cradle trads. If you haven't had to sit through what did I say? What song did I say? I was like, if you haven't had to sit through Table of Plenty,
yeah.
You don't have your Catholic street cred. I don't.
It actually explains a lot about Michael Batt, doesn't it?
He's a cradle trad. He never had to experience the Novus Ordo in all its beauty. All right. I think we could close this one up. Patrick Nave, I think you're living a pipe dream, brother. We do like you. You're allowed to have bad opinions. Doesn't mean we dislike you. Everybody has a terrible one on occasion. I like you. It's okay to have a bad opinion, but expect to be made fun of. Your book's gonna be terrible, but your tweet was great. I'll give you that.
But your book will sell because what Catholic Inc. does.
Father Timothy Geckel, he's a trad priest. I don't trust the neo trads.
He's a Sede priest.
Yeah, he's a Sede priest. Tom, you always catch the end of the show, right?
Every single time.
Every time. It's like set your alarm. We do this at 8 p.m. on Tuesday and Thursday, Tom. Every Tuesday and Thursday. Stop coming in late. All right. You guys got any last minute questions? Did we miss any super chats? No.
I don't know. Do we have any other sponsors we need to mention?
Did we get this one? I became a Sede because I went to RCIA and they said evolution was probably true and women should be allowed to be
priests.
It's
just going to be every RCIA though. Like,
women priests shouldn't be at RCIA. I could see evolution for sure.
Yeah, but totally... RCIA is always run by a woman who thinks they should be a priest.
I had the woman at my wife's RCIA tell my wife that the priesthood was like a 5th century invention by the church. Like the priesthood was invented in like the 5th century or something. Crazy.
Man.
Craziness. These broads. Yeah, we got to get the women out. I think
We
that's
do not have a
first step.
Patreon, but we do have a
No.
locals, and we will actually be moving over to locals here shortly. So go to avoidingbabylon.locals.com, and you can watch a one-time show for $4 or for $5 a month. You can watch all of them, and I think it's what, 50 a year,
50 for the year
for
or
a full year.
$5 a month, or you can watch one episode for $4, which a lot of people did for the Daniel O'Connor episode. But if you guys enjoyed the Daniel O'Connor, like what we typically do on locals is talk about more personal stuff. Like Rob might share a personal thing. I'll talk about a lot of behind the scenes Catholic content stuff that, you know, we don't want to gossip on Twitter, YouTube about, but we do.
And if you're too broke for locals, go over and watch what
The
are they
Latin
called?
Slavs.
Latin Slavs.
Yeah, they start at 9. So Latin Slavs podcast starts in 5 minutes. So if you're too broke and you want to go watch the Avoiding Babylon spinoff, they're called Latin Slavs. But if you want to watch the real show, we go over to locals. And I have some stuff to share on locals that we're going to get into. I want to talk about my experience hanging out with Father Altman, doing some shots of tequila with him, and how my opinion has changed a bit on him. How John Henry Weston, all right, we'll do it on the other side. Yeah, John Henry Weston and I shared an Airbnb, and I had some really good conversations with him. So all right, we'll do that over there. We'll give you guys the inside scoop about what happened in the super secret trad meeting.
Let me post the locals link here before we go.
We have a good outro video.
Not really. I could just play one of the other ads.
Play the knick-knack commercial.
You can play the knick-knack commercial or requisite. Okay, I'm pinning the locals link.
This is
in
the
the
best
live
way to
chat.
go. You watch locals live and then watch Latin Slavs the next day. Sorry, Majorian, but our live show is a little more important. Tom, you finally joined locals? You finally joined locals. Good boy.
Let's see what other videos we got that I can play. I got a funny one. It's not brand new, but we only played it once or twice. Okay.
All right. We'll see you guys on the other side. Thank you for joining. A couple months ago, these 2 wild ducks landed in my pool. It was amazing. They're from Canada or someplace, and it was mating season. They had some ducklings. This is great. Then I come out one day. At first, it felt like there was ginger ale in my skull.
Do you feel depressed?
Ever since the ducks left, I guess.